Hi everyone, welcome to Whispers of the Word by Cherry.
My name is Nancy. I'm 25 years old, and I used to think that forgiveness was something you gave when someone apologized, when they felt bad, or when they tried to make things right. But then she did what I never expected, and suddenly, forgiveness wasn't a word I could say without shaking. This is the story of how I lost my peace and how Jesus helped me find it again. Not by taking revenge or pretending I wasn't hurt, but by teaching me that true freedom begins with forgiveness. Sarah was more than just my cousin. She was my sister, my safe place, my other half. We grew up like twins. I remember us building forts in the living room, sharing clothes, sneaking into the kitchen at night to steal biscuits. As adults, that bond stayed. I told Sarah everything, especially about Eric. He was my first serious boyfriend, and honestly, I was all in. I didn't have a dad growing up, so the idea of a man choosing me made me feel special and seen. I would cry to Sarah when Eric didn't call, celebrate when he did, ask her to help me pick out gifts for his birthday. She knew every detail. She listened, advised me, prayed with me, or so I thought. One evening, I was scrolling on Instagram when I saw it, a photo. Sarah and Eric, smiling together at a restaurant. I laughed at first. Must be an old photo, I said to myself. But then I looked at the timestamp, posted 20 minutes ago. I felt the air leave my lungs. I called Sarah, she didn't pick up. I called again, nothing. I decided to drive past the restaurant. Don't ask me why, I just needed to see for myself. Maybe it was denial, maybe it was hope. But what I saw, they were outside, standing by Eric's car, and then they kissed, right there in public. Like they weren't doing anything wrong, like I didn't exist. My chest tightened. I ducked behind a parked car, tears already flowed in my eyes. I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. I couldn't even move. I just sat there, shaking, watching the two people I trusted most in the world betray me in broad daylight. That night, I couldn't sleep. The next morning, I confronted her. I still remember her voice. Nancy, it's not what you think. We just bumped into each other and decided to catch up. She lied over and over until she finally admitted the truth. We didn't mean it for it to happen, it just did. They had been seeing each other for months. While I cried to her about him, she was holding his hand. I decided to cut them off, but even though I blocked them from my phone, I couldn't block them from my thoughts. I kept replaying every word, every moment. The anger, the betrayal, the bitterness, it consumed me. Family gatherings became torture. I avoided them. Even when I was alone, I wasn't free. My sleep was restless. My prayers were dry. I opened my Bible, but felt nothing. I was trapped in a prison that I built myself, a prison called unforgiveness. But the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 15 says, "But if you do not forgive others, then your Father will not forgive the wrongs you have done." That verse haunted me. I wanted peace, but not if it meant letting them go unpunished. One Sunday, I almost didn't go to church, but something told me to get out of the house. The sermon was on, of course, forgiveness. I folded my arms, here we go again. The pastor said, forgiveness isn't about saying what they did was okay. It's saying you are done carrying the weight of it. Then a woman shared her testimony about forgiving her cheating husband. She cried as she talked about how it freed her heart. I couldn't hold it anymore. I cried too, right there in my seat. I wasn't crying because I had forgiven. I was crying because I hadn't, and I didn't know how. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 13 to 14 says, "Be tolerant with one another and forgive one another whenever any of you has a complaint against someone else. You must forgive one another just as the Lord has forgiven you. And to all these qualities, add love, which binds all things together in perfect unity. That week, I started journaling. God, why do you expect me to forgive someone who stabbed me in the back? I yelled, I cried, I even stopped talking to God for a few days. But then, I read the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 to 30, which says, "Come to me, all of you who are tired from carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke and put it on, and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in spirit, and you will find rest. For the yoke I will give you is easy, and the load I will put on you is light." I whispered, "Lord, I am tired. I am tired of feeling like this. Please help me." I didn't forgive that day, but something cracked open in my heart. I decided to write a letter, not to give it to Sarah, just to get it all out. I told her how much she hurt me, how I trusted her, and then I wrote the words, "I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I need peace." I prayed over that letter. That night, I had a dream. I was sitting in a dark room, clutching a bag of stones. My hands were bleeding. Jesus came in and gently said, "Let them go, Nancy." I woke up and cried. The next day, I texted Sarah, "I don't want to talk, I just want you to know I forgive you." She replied, "I'm so sorry, Nancy. I've carried this guilt for so long. Thank you very much." Forgiving didn't erase the past, but it unlocked something inside me. I could breathe again. I could pray again. Worship felt real again. My heart wasn't tangled in pain anymore. Now, when I see Sarah at family gatherings, I smile. Not because we are best friends again, but because I'm free. I even started helping young people in my church who struggle with bitterness. I tell them what I wish someone told me. Forgiveness doesn't mean trusting them again. It means choosing to heal. Because the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 31 to 32 says, "Get rid of all bitterness and anger. No more shouting or insult. No more hateful feelings of any sort. Instead, be kind and tender-hearted to one another, and forgive one another as God has forgiven you through Christ." If you are listening to this right now, holding on to pain, I understand. Someone hurt you, lied to you, and abandoned you. You have every right to be angry, but the truth is, you also have every right to be free. Jesus didn't say forgiveness would be easy, but he did say, "If the Son sets you free, you'll be free indeed." That is from the book of John chapter 8, verse 36. Don't wait for them to say sorry. Don't wait for the pain to disappear. Forgive so you can be healed. Forgive so you can be free. Thank you so much for listening and watching the Whispers of the Word by Cherry. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and even share. Jesus loves you. Bye.